Ladies and gentlemen, our program is about to begin.
Western Carolina University is situated within the ancestral homelands of the Cherokee people, 20 miles from present-day Eastern Band of Cherokee Indian communities of the Qualla Boundary. The campus occupies Two Sparrows Place, Tali Dzitsquayahi, an ancient principal town with a mound and council house where Killian Building now stands. Cullowhee, the university's home, is Tzacullowhee, or Jettaculla's place. This giant being was the great teacher and steward of the natural world, and ancient stories about Jettaculla tell of the creator and creation, the origins of humans, and the proper way to be Cherokee. We at Western Carolina University inherit these stories so that we may better understand the deep significance of this beloved place and our role here. We are dedicated to supporting the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians and all indigenous tribes throughout the world in achieving futures of their own making. We will continue to collaborate with tribal nations to address the challenges at hand, and we want each of you to accept the charge of learning and supporting our relationships with indigenous people during your time at WCU. This work acknowledges our sense of place and reinforces our mission at Western Carolina University.
Welcome to the 2023 CTE Nccat Awards. We are here tonight to celebrate 24 educators who exemplify excellence in teaching and learning in a program that has had roots in this country for over 125 years. A program that for many years was deemed vocational education, a title which eventually evolved into career and technical education. Evolved because of the expansion of the scope of the vision of its place in our society. These 24 educators are committed to the mission of CTE to empower all students to be successful citizens, workers, and leaders in a global economy, and gives purpose to learning by emphasizing real-world skills and practical knowledge. These 24 education leaders are involved in CTE programs that include training in agriculture, food and natural resources, the arts, including AV technology and communications, business management and administration, government and public administration, public safety, corrections and security, health science, and agriculture and construction. Programs designed to contribute to the broad education achievement of their students, including basic skills such as reading, writing, and mathematics, as well as their ability to work independently and as a part of a team, think creatively, solve problems, and utilize technology. These CTE educators help create each of their students' first step on a pathway toward productive employment and citizenship, whether their students plan to further their education in community colleges, technical schools, four-year colleges, and universities, receive on-the-job training, or pursue careers in the military. CTE is learning that works for North Carolina. These 24 educators represent some of the finest North Carolina CTE teachers who help make school more relevant and ensure students are ready for the real world. We are so proud to celebrate these educators tonight, and congratulations on being the 2023 Nccat CTE Award finalists. Now, please welcome your host, North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching, Executive Director, Dr. Brock Womble.
Good evening, everyone. We are pleased to welcome you to the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching's 2023 North Carolina CTE Teacher of the Year ceremony. Thank you for a wonderful week to our finalists and the school systems they represent. We are extremely proud of the finalists. Getting to know them has been our pleasure. Taking time to honor excellent career and technical education educators across the state through our program tonight is important, as we are continually striving to elevate the teaching profession and emphasize the significance of their work they do as educators each day. We appreciate everyone who is with us tonight, and I would like to acknowledge some distinguished guests. First of all, the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching Board of Trustee Chairman, Dr. Corey Cosby. Please give him a hand. The Development Foundation of Nccat Incorporated President, Mr. Richard Schwartz. And the fantastic sponsors who made this evening possible and the celebration of our teaching profession. So thank you very much, sponsors. Thank you for all these individuals, our Board of Trustees and our Development Board, and our previous CTE Teacher of the Year Award winner, Ms. Missy Swain, for their support. Others that I'd like to thank are the Nccat CTE Teacher of the Year steering committees, partners with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction and the North Carolina Association for Career and Technical Education. Finalists, on behalf of Nccat, thank you for all you do. We know that you will continue to help students climb to new heights across our state of North Carolina. This evening and the wonderful week of professional learning with you at Nccat have been a pleasure, and thank you very much. I just want to say thank you for all our finalists for what you've done this week. You've inspired me. Getting to know you, hearing from the week that you had this week, it really has been inspirational. And seeing the collaboration and how well you got along with your peers and the difference I believe this week made for your career, your professional career has meant a lot to me, and hearing your stories. You know, this evening is without y'all, there is no evening. And to come from all the school systems you've come through and come here and be able to collaborate and work with each other and to be friends when you leave here, it's been a lot for me to be able to see that and recognize how special y'all are. What you do every day is very important. And is an honor for me with being part of Nccat to be here to recognize y'all and to give you hopefully a wonderful week that can carry you back to your classrooms. Thank you very much for that. It is now my honor to introduce Dr. Kelly Tracy with the College of Education and Allied Professions at Western Carolina University. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kelly Tracy, and I am the director of the School of Teaching and Learning here at Western Carolina University. The School of Teaching and Learning lives within the College of Education and Allied Professions, and it houses many of our teacher education programs, graduate and undergraduate. It is my sincere pleasure to bring greetings from WCU, the college, and the school. But I also bring those greetings as a mother of 2 children who have had the privilege of learning from 2 exceptional CTE teachers. In fact, my 7th grader told me just the other day that her CTE teacher was, quote, a baddie, and that's a high compliment from a middle schooler. It is exciting to be here with this exceptional group of CTE Teacher of the Year finalists from across the state of North Carolina. You've been selected for this honor because of the innovative and impactful work that you do with your students. I cannot say a big enough thank you for that work that you do. In the College of Education and Allied Professions, we refer to our graduates as transformative. We believe in the power of education to bring positive change. This is true of Western Carolina University as a whole, which was founded in 1889 as a school for preparing teachers. It was the first publicly funded normal school in the state. Today, WCU continues its mission of education and access. Western is one of 4 NC Promise institutions from across the state. NC Promise reduces tuition to $500 per semester for residents of North Carolina and $2,500 for out-of-state. This reduced tuition gives broader access to higher education. This year, WCU welcomed its 3rd largest freshman class, and overall enrollment topped out at just over 11,600 full-time students. The work that we do here at WCU would not be possible without teachers like you, who help students consider a range of possibilities for their lives. So enjoy the celebration. You have earned it, and I have no doubt that you are all baddies.
Please welcome Nccat Deputy Executive Director, Dr. Karen Sumner.
Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking the person whose vision made this week and tonight happen. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Brock Womble, and we thank you for doing this. I would like to share our sponsors with you this evening. We are so grateful to all of you for helping make this happen and making it special for our finalists. Our silver sponsors, we have Participate Learning, ICEV, and Burroughs Welcome Fund. Our bronze sponsors, Branching Minds, Bojangles. We know we got $100 gift cards from Bojangles, y'all. That's Instructure, Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, and Edmentum. Our patron sponsors, Air Purification Incorporated, Dr. June Atkinson, North Carolina Education Lottery, Schwartz Law, PLLC, Campbell Shatley Attorneys at Law, Protect Ed, Farm Bureau North Carolina Ag in the Classroom, Care Solace, Paxton Patterson, National Geographic Cengage Learning. Thank you to all of you.
Welcome, NCDPI Senior Director, Office of Career and Technical Education, Trey Michael.
Good evening. It is my honor tonight to introduce Miss Missy Swain. Missy is a dedicated and passionate educator who has made significant contributions to the field of career and technical education. With a rich background spanning over 2 decades, she is currently serving as the Career and Technical Education Director for Perquimans County Schools, where she plays a pivotal role in enhancing and promoting CTE initiatives. Missy's journey in education began as an agricultural educator, a role she embraced for 17 years. During her teaching tenure, she exemplified excellence and dedication, earning recognition as a national board-certified teacher. Her academic journey includes an undergraduate degree from the North Carolina State University and a master's in agricultural education from Nccat, reflecting her commitment to continuous learning and professional development. Missy's influence extends beyond the classroom. She served on the prestigious NCFFA Board of Directors, where she contributed to shaping the future of agricultural education and FFA in North Carolina. Additionally, her expertise is valued on the NC CTE Advisory Board and the NC Teacher Leadership Council, where she actively participates in shaping state-level educational policies. Recognized for her outstanding contributions, Missy has been honored with several awards, including the NCATA Outstanding Teacher of the Year, the NAAE National Agri-Science Ambassador Title, Northeast Region Teacher of the Year, and received her honorary state FFA degree. She also played a significant role in the inaugural NC Agriculture Leadership Cohort. In 2023, Missy's dedication and innovative approach to education were acknowledged when she was named the NCACTE Teacher of the Year in 2022 and the first Nccat CTE Teacher of the Year. Her commitment to empowering teachers or students through quality education and her influential role in state-level organizations exemplify her status as a leader in the field of career and technical education. It's an honor to welcome to the stage our first Nccat CTE Teacher of the Year, Miss Missy Swain.
Good evening. It's truly a privilege to stand here tonight surrounded by a remarkable group of educators. Throughout the week, I've had the pleasure of getting to know each of you, witnessing firsthand the depth of your commitment, the expertise you bring to the CTE profession, and the profound influence that you have on your students and your community. Your unwavering dedication, the excellence you achieve in your teaching, the positive transformations that you create within your classrooms and schools deserves the highest praise. Kudos to you, finalists. The dedication that you exhibit as teachers in career and technical education is truly commendable. You not only educate, you inspire, shaping the lives of all students and leaving an indelible mark on their futures. Career and technical education influences students' academic achievement, career readiness, employability skills, and long-term success in the workforce. There is a direct correlation between participation in CTE programs and improved graduation rates, higher post-secondary education enrollment, and enhancement job placement opportunities. North Carolina's CTE concentrator graduation rate is currently 98% compared to the North Carolina high school graduation rate of only 86%. CTE continues to show its effectiveness of various teaching methods, integration of technology, industry partners, and the alignment of the CTE curriculum with labor market demands. I am a product of career and technical education and know firsthand how important CTE is, and it provided me with hands-on learning experience, career training, and impacted my high school journey. Recognizing the vital role of fostering positive relationships with students, we must understand that it is a fundamental element contributing to its student success within our classrooms. Such positive connections establish an enriching learning atmosphere where students experience safety, value, and motivation. Studies consistently demonstrate that students who cultivate positive relationships with their teachers exhibit higher levels of classroom engagement, improved behavior, and enhanced academic achievements. When I was given the opportunity to speak tonight, I took considerable time to ponder what I could share with this exceptional group of educators this evening. As I reflected on my core beliefs as an educator, I found myself consistently returning to the topic of relationships and their profound importance. And I kept coming back to one specific story. And before I share this story with you, I just want to let you know that I do have permission from the former student and parents to share this story with you. It was day 9 of the drop ad period for high school students. We all know at day 9, we have expectations and procedures are in place and students are really beginning to settle in for the semester. I received a phone call from guidance that a student's schedule had been changed, leading him to my classroom. I instantly realized the challenge ahead. I had to help the student catch up without overwhelming him. Hurriedly, I prepared materials, greeted him at the door warmly, attempting to make him feel welcome. Despite my efforts, he quickly expressed his struggle, and I understood that my class might not be the right fit for him. About 15 minutes into the class, he raises his hand and he says, "I don't think I can do this. I need to go to guidance right now and get my schedule changed." So I wrote him a pass and I sent him on his way. After class, I stopped by the guidance office, and I said to our counselor, "I just don't think it's going to be a good fit for him. What were you thinking, switching him to my animal science class? He doesn't even like going outside." We chatted for a moment, and I went back to my room to figure out how I was going to reach this student. Determined to assist, I sought a solution. The next morning, I pulled my Ag Advanced Studies student aside and I said, "I need you to mentor our new student. Help him get settled, work with him to get caught up," and she agreed to help me with this undertaking. Ross came in, sat down, and immediately shared with myself and my student that he was put into my class because he was in PE, and he just doesn't do PE. Ross, I feel you, friend. He saw my class outside with the animals, and the PE teacher suggested that he take animal science instead. I soon learned that Ross had autism, a fact that did not define him, but added depth to his journey. Throughout his high school years, he faced various challenges, including navigating unfamiliar situations. Together, we embarked on a mission to help Ross, the new student, succeed. At first, Ross was hesitant, feeling out of place. However, with time, patience, and unwavering support, he began to blossom. Ross began to actively participate in class, paid his FFA dues, attended his first Federation Christmas social, and confided in his classmates that he was going to run for chapter office. Ross was selected in the spring as our chapter junior advisor. Ross's sophomore year, he agreed to participate on our parliamentary procedure team, where he was going to have to speak in front of people. This was out of his comfort zone, but with support from his teammates and myself, he accomplished this goal that he set for himself. Ross started getting more involved. He attended his first Federation event, regional rally, and state convention, where he competed in parliamentary procedure. Ross had never been away from home without his parents, so this was a learning experience for him. At dinner, I showed him how to leave and calculate his tip for the waiter, and then when he realized that he had to sign his name, he got so upset, and I was quick to make dashes on the receipt so that he could trace his name in cursive. His junior year, we decided that our chapter was going to attend National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. He had never been that far away from home, but I knew Ross would be fine. The overstimulation and flexibility in the day schedule of National Convention caused Ross to crumble. It was just too much for him, quickly realizing that I had put too much on his plate. So we sat and recharged and talked about how we could handle situations like this in the future. Despite setbacks, Ross persevered, teaching us all the importance of embracing differences. In the end, Ross was not just a student, he was my inspiration. His resilience, coupled with the lessons he taught me, reshaped my approach to teaching and advocating for all students, making me a better educator and a more compassionate advocate. His presence profoundly impacted me, sparking a passion for working with students with disabilities and advocating for inclusive educational practices in my school and for other CTE teachers in North Carolina. This is what distinguishes career and technical education teachers. Not only do we impart knowledge in our subject areas, we create diverse opportunities for every student. In my district, the mantra is, be the one, emphasizing the commitment to reach every child, every chance, every day. I urge you to embody that role for your students consistently, even on the days when exhaustion sets in and you feel drained. Although the path may seem challenging, in the end, your perseverance will be rewarded.
Please welcome CTE Teacher of the Year Steering Committee Co-Chair, Dr. Wendy Mason.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to begin recognizing my new friends, the CTE Teacher of the Year finalists. Let's begin. Matthew Barnhill from Johnston County, who teaches agricultural education at Corinth Holders High School. Mickey Broadhurst from Carteret County, who teaches career development education at Broad Creek Middle School. Jay Campbell from New Hanover County, who teaches computer science, IT, and technology education from Hoggard High School. Brittany Childers from Cabarrus County, who teaches trade and industrial education and family and consumer sciences education at Mount Pleasant High School and J.M. Robinson High School. Barnan Creech from Wake County, who teaches family and consumer sciences education at Zebulon G.T. Magnet Middle School. Kurt Garner from Pitt County, who teaches business, finance, and marketing education at J.H. Rose High School. Andrea Gladden from Burke County, who teaches computer science, IT, and technology education at East Burke Middle School. And Candace Grimsley from Robeson County, who teaches agricultural education at Lumberton High School.
Please welcome Executive Director, Central Carolina Workforce Development Board, David Hollers.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying this. It's such a pleasure to be part of the group that's putting together the Nccat Cte Teacher of the Year Award. I'm glad, too, to also be able to introduce Josiah Young. Josiah Haley Young is an alumnus of Hickory Ridge High School in Cabarrus County, where he graduated summa cum laude. In high school, Josiah was heavily involved in Hickory Ridge Career and Technical Education Program, beginning with his first leadership role as the freshman representative for the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism. Josiah went on to serve in other leadership roles, including serving on the school's DECA chapter as Vice President of Community Service. He also served as the Vice President of Special Events and eventually the Co-President of the DECA chapter. As a 4-year DECA member, Josiah achieved first place at 2 consecutive years at the NC DECA Career Development Conference in Sports and Entertainment Marketing, which is a mouthful. And this past spring, he was medaled as a top 10 finalist at the DECA International Career Development Conference in the category of Sports and Entertainment Marketing in Orlando, Florida. Among Josiah's other notable accomplishments are Hickory Ridge High School DECA Member of the Year in 2021, AP Seminar Student of the Year in 2021 also, and the Order of the Runners Who Raised the Bar. The College Board AP Research Perfect Score Recognition in 2022, the College Board AP National African American Recognition Award, the North Carolina 2023 Presidential Scholar in the area of career and technical education, and one of only 20 in the nation. Josiah was also inducted to the Hickory Ridge High School DECA Hall of Fame in this year in 2023. Beyond the classroom, Josiah has applied his career and technical education skills as a marketing intern at Miles Mediation and Arbitration, where he's currently developing Headset Sports LLC, which is an agency he founded to develop activities through personal brand and image consulting. Josiah is also a Moorhead Kane Scholar at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and studying at the Keener Flagler Business School. Very impressive. Please join me in welcoming Josiah Young.
Good evening. Thank you for such an honorable introduction, and I thank all the sponsors who've made this incredible evening possible. It is certainly a privilege to be among this august body of educators, to witness this great celebration of people, good people dedicated to the educational advancements of future generations. In a world that's so divided, so discordant, and so conflicting, it is a gift simply to be at a gathering where the congregation of people seems to be on the same page. Now, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that there are over 100 job industries in America, ranging from goods-producing industries like manufacturing and construction, and service-providing industries like health and transportation. But perhaps the most overlooked and endangered industry is the education industry. There are over 500,000 fewer educators in the American public school system post-pandemic. And in August of 2023 alone, about 51,000 teachers and other educational staff quit their jobs throughout the United States. Dropout rates among youth throughout the country are exponentiating. And North Carolina officials say that the state's dropout numbers are 17% higher than they were pre-pandemic. Now, it would be a terrible thing for me to present such discomforting news during a celebration like this and not have good news too. So the good news is that we need not look far for a solution. Just look to your left and right. You are the solution. During the school year, students spend more time in school than they do at home. Students spend more time interacting with their teachers than with their parents. So every time you welcome your students into the classroom, you're resuming your work as an educational craftsman, building for youth a meaningful perspective on life, social and economic progress, and the requisite confidence that they need to enter their workforce and reach their full potential. And so you know I've done my homework. The National Center for Education Statistics reveals that 83% of students say a teacher helped improve their confidence and self-esteem. 87% of people wish they told their teachers how much they appreciated them. 88% of people say their teachers played a significant and positive role in their lives. 79% of students say they've been encouraged to follow their dreams by a teacher. 54% of students say they've had a teacher who helped them through a difficult time. And 75% of students say they see teachers as mentors and role models. It's also reported that the average educator will impact more than 3,000 students throughout his or her career. In fact, research even shows that the private and public economic benefit of a free community college tuition would outweigh the government costs. Simply put, we need the education industry. We need teachers like you. And so I can further illustrate the impact you all have on the future generation. Let's have a quick story time, and I'll take my seat. So once upon a time, there was a student with potential, capability, and competency, but he sometimes lacked the confidence to let his light shine. Now, when I think about this student today, I recognize that he still is pretty introverted, but as a child and as an adolescent, he almost always came across as reserved, taciturn, and timid. In fact, he spoke so little that he needed speech therapy and would practice his enunciation and articulation before lunch several times a week. But still, from an early age, teachers saw the student's value that he sometimes couldn't see in himself. They began switching on the light so that it would shine. Now, as this person matriculated, teachers continued to point him to the light. CTE teachers, coordinators, and advisors, such as Mrs. Ellen Machado, Mrs. Hannah Lightsey, Ms. Kendra Glover, Mr. Justin Hagler, and Mr. Peter Kimber, all influential in his personal and professional development. They gave him opportunities to lead, chances to stretch beyond his comfort zone, and the courage to dream big. And so this same person who once couldn't tell you one aspect about marketing found himself helping distinguished attorneys with their social media marketing efforts. This same person who once struggled with the fixed mindset was encouraged to take leaps of faith and pursue his dreams. And now he has an athlete consulting company, studies at an elite academic institution, Go Heels, and looks actively to apply his talents where they are best used. This same person who was once so timid he struggled to pronounce his R's is now standing before a large assembly of working professionals, of change makers, of experiential learning educators saying, thank you. And teachers, my message to you this evening is to add more meaning to CTE. Yes, it means career and technical education, but I say to you, continue teaching extraordinarily. Continue teaching for a purpose, not for a profit. Consider teaching to live with meaning and not just to make a means of living. Sometimes you may not know who's sitting in your classroom, looking for a spark, looking for an opportunity, looking for a catalyst that can say you have potential, go after your dreams, so continue teaching exceptionally. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did a great work, but before he was MLK, he had Benjamin Mays as a teacher. Mahatma Gandhi did a great work, but before he was Gandhi, he had Shamad Wachandra as a teacher. John F. Kennedy did a great work, but he couldn't have been President Kennedy without Ted Sorensen as an advisor. Maya Angelou did a great work, but before she became a renowned poet, she had Bertha Flowers as a teacher. Kobe Bryant did a great work, but before he became Kobe, he had Gene Mastriano as a teacher. So the leaders of tomorrow stand on the shoulders of the educators of today like you. So I know your pay may not reflect your hard work, but CTE, continue teaching excellence. I know the classroom isn't a safe space like it used to be, but CTE, continue teaching enthusiastically. I know sometimes you may not feel like showing up to work. You may not feel like dealing with us students, but remember, we are counting on you. So CTE, continue teaching eagerly. Bring the class to life. Discuss current events. Invite guest speakers. Take a class field trip. Simulate real-life experiences. Give students tangible, real problems to solve. Only one person can win CTE Teacher of the Year tonight, but it takes all of you to save the education industry, to save the next generation, to save society at large. So keep on, CTE. Continue teaching extraordinarily. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our second group of CTE Teacher of the Year finalists.
Thank you, Josiah. It's my privilege to recognize the next group of finalists, beginning with Sherry Hale from Pamlico County, who teaches trade and industrial education at Pamlico County Middle School. Next is Bobby Jones from Clay County, who teaches business, finance, and marketing education at Hayesville High School. Rob Jones from Harnett County, who teaches trade and industrial education at Harnett Central High School. Thelma Castle from Wilkes County, who teaches computer science, IT, and technology education at West Wilkes High School. TJ Colebrenner from Union County, who teaches computer science, IT, and technology education at Cuthbertson High School. Dwayne Craigie from Avery County, who teaches agricultural education at Avery County High School. Mario Malabunga from Hoke County, who teaches trade and industrial education at Hoke High School. And Ashley McCullen from Cumberland County, who teaches agricultural education at Grays Creek High School.
Please welcome Executive Director, Mountain Area Workforce Development Board, Nathan Ramsey.
Good evening. It's my honor to recognize someone who I want to grow up and be like him. Someone who wants to tell the whole world that CTE rocks. Someone that I could say is the Ryan Seacrest of career and technical education. And for old folks like me, the Dick Clark of career and technical education. Peyton Holland has dedicated his career to helping bridge education, industry, and communities together to ensure that we are preparing the next generation of skilled leaders for the workforce. He currently serves as the Executive Director of the National Technical Honor Society, a national nonprofit that empowers students to pursue the skills needed to build their careers and celebrates those who do. Peyton has been actively engaged in career and technical education for over 20 years, serving as the Skills USA North Carolina Executive Director prior to coming to the National Technical Honor Society. He's worked with organizations and associations, agencies, and companies across the United States as a professional speaker and consultant for nearly 2 decades. Peyton will get us excited this evening. Peyton is driven to share the importance and skill and the value of CTE in our society. Please welcome the amazing Peyton Holland.
That's an introduction. Thank you for having me on American Bandstand, Nathan Ramsey. Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here tonight. I can't tell you how excited and just energized I am to be in a room with the best of career and technical education from all across the state of North Carolina. I know we've been clapping a lot tonight, but I tell you, I go to a lot of events where we get to celebrate student success, and I hear people screaming at the absolute top of their lungs when those students get on stage. And the reason those students, just like Josiah, that we saw up here tonight, get on stage and get recognized is because of the 24 individuals that are sitting in front of here tonight. So I want to hear at the top of our lungs the biggest cheering, hooting, hollering Western North Carolina congratulations we can give to these outstanding individuals. Let's give it to them, y'all. Woo! Yeah! Yeah. Woo! All right. All right, we're getting there. I know CTE can get loud and rowdy every now and then. You guys rock, and I can't say that enough. And tonight is so special because we're doing something that doesn't happen often. We're celebrating excellence in career and technical education. And what does that mean? How important is that? Well, I'll tell you. So I was fortunate. I grew up with someone that I admired more than anything else in this world. He was a creator, an innovator, an architect, an engineer, a physicist, a philosopher, a builder. You name it, the man could do anything. It was my dad. I mean, he designed and built our house with his own two hands. He cut every board, he drove every nail, he designed it on the back of a napkin and brought that vision from his head to fruition and is still living in it today at the age of 80 years old. He has found ways to create tools that could accomplish things that no other tool in this world could do. If something broke and he needed to fix it, he'd find a way to fix it. If he didn't have the tool, he'd find a way to make the tool. And growing up around someone like that, I was inspired because I wanted to be able to literally build my future with my own two hands, just like I had seen my dad do. I mean, he spun up businesses from the ground up, from logging to sawmilling, farming and raising pumpkins. He built them from the ground up and provided for our family by being able to do the things that he loved to do with his hands. And I wanted to be like him so much. So I got really excited when I got ready to sign up to go to high school, and I saw that they had masonry, they had carpentry, they had horticulture. I remember looking at his yearbook and seeing that blue corduroy. I know we've got some ag teachers out here, right? Seeing that blue corduroy and thinking, oh man, my dad was an FFA. I've got to go do that too because I want to be just like him. And I'll never forget sitting in the counselor's office to sign up for those classes. And I'd gotten pretty good grades when I was in middle school. And they're like, okay, Peyton, we hear you. But you know, if you really want to be successful, we need to put you in these college prep classes because we need to get you on track to go to a 4-year degree. I said, no, you don't understand. I want to build my future. I want to be in charge of that. I want to build it. I want to be like my dad. I want to be able to use my two hands to build what's in my mind and what's in my heart and take charge of my future. And they said, that's great. But you know, if you want to be successful, how many of you have heard that? How many of you had a student be told that? How many of you in the audience followed that path even, right? And I'm not saying anything bad about 4-year degrees. Don't get me wrong. We value that. Here at Western Carolina, you can get an amazing education and you can do incredible things with your life. But it has to be what fires you up, what drives you. We have to invest in student interest and what gets them excited each and every day that they walk into that school. How many of you have students who walk into school and they're just going through the motions, just trying to get through? You know, how many of you, we heard today, get students sent to your class because they're not successful in other classes? Oh, well, we just can't handle them, right? But what happens when they walk through your doors? They turn into a person that no one else in that school has ever seen before. Why? Because in CTE, we connect them with ways in which they can learn, ways in which they can experience the world, ways in which they can express their interest that they can find nowhere else in education. And for the 23 years I've been involved in career and technical education, I've consistently heard this message: CTE is the best kept secret in education. How many of you have heard that or been guilty of saying that over the years, right? I've heard it for 23 years straight. Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening here with the partnership of Nccat, ACTE, all of the partners and sponsors that have come together now is a golden opportunity to no longer be a secret, to make sure we can impact and influence every student, just like we heard up tonight from Josiah, to make a difference in their lives and give them an opportunity to explore the world with their hands so they can find out what it is that they love to do. So when I think back to that experience and the conversation I had that with that guidance counselor. I can't help but think about the stories that I've heard from folks that have been sitting in your shoes over the last 23 years, who have been in that classroom, willing to impart knowledge and a passion for the trade. What I've learned in the last few hours that I've spent with you is you're not just passionate about teaching, you're passionate about your students, and you're passionate about the craft that it is that you're sharing with those students. You see the energy, you see the excitement, and that's what makes a difference. I think of some of the most important words that I've ever heard in a classroom, and it was, "Son, I see something special in you." How many of you have had a student that's come into class and you knew there was potential there? Just like we heard from Josiah, you knew there was potential there, but the student never took action on it. Something was holding them back. Have we ever had a student, maybe you've had an employee, business industry, that's in the room right now. How many of us had someone, we could see potential in that person, but they weren't taking that step? George Braxton, in a masonry classroom, stopped a student walking out of that class one day and said, "Son, I see something special in you. I want you to join this organization called Skills USA. I think you'll be amazing in it. I want you to do the job interview competition." And that student said, "Mr. Braxton, thank you for the confidence, but I think you're crazy. You must really want to lose that competition. No, thank you," and walked away. And every day for 2 weeks straight, George Braxton said, "Son, I see something special in you. I want you to join this organization. I think you're going to do great in it. You'll be amazing at it." And what George Braxton didn't know is that student lacked the confidence, the self-assurance, the self-worth, and the self-value to believe that he could do anything, because he had grown up a little bit different than other kids. He was a little bit overweight compared to everyone else. First grade, he was pushing the scales at 111 pounds, about twice the size of every other first grader, getting picked on every day that he walked into the classroom because he looked differently. By seventh grade, he was tipping the scales at 175 pounds and told he was too fat to play football. The only football he could play was high school football. This continued on throughout his educational career. Every turn he took, he was picked on and said, "You know, you're not good enough for this. You're not good enough to achieve whatever it is you think you can achieve in this." Mr. Braxton didn't know that, but what Mr. Braxton knew is he saw something special in that young man. And every day for 2 weeks, he persisted. And finally, with a small bribe of a steak when they went to state conference, got that student to give in and say he would join that organization and be a part of Skills USA. And that was a life-defining moment, because every day after that, Mr. Braxton worked with that student to help him learn how to tell his story, to help him communicate the value that he had and the skill sets that he had learned working back home on the farm, working in the classrooms, working in teams, being in a part of all these projects that he had done in school. He learned how to communicate value. And when he went to that competition that year, somehow he qualified to go to the state conference, and he went to state conference, and somehow he qualified to be in the final round, of that final round of the job interview competition. He walked in as a freshman against 5 seniors. And you're probably thinking, "Oh, it's going to end up with him winning first place, isn't it?" Nope, sure isn't. He went in, and he was anticipating being in 6th place, but that's not where it stopped. They started calling out the names for the winners. 5th, it wasn't him. 4th, it wasn't him. 3rd place, all of a sudden, his name comes over the loudspeaker. He's surprised. And next to him is this 65-year-old man that all of a sudden, and don't judge professionalism on this, goes, "Well, I knew you could do it, man. You're awesome. You did it. Look at you. You did it." And so the teenager's never seen a 65-year-old man freak out like that and show that much enthusiasm and excitement. So he just gets up and runs down the aisle. Next thing you know, he's on stage, got a medallion around his neck, 2,000 people clapping and cheering. And right in the middle of that auditorium is this 65-year-old man just losing his mind. "I love you. You did it. You're awesome. I knew you could do it. You rock. You're the best. See, you can do anything." And as that student was walking off the stage, he looked down at his neck and realized that for his entire life, he had let everyone else define who he was, what he could do, and what his self-value was. As he looked at that medallion hanging around his neck, he realized that the only reason it was there is because that crazy old man said, "Son, I see something special in you. I believe in you. You can do this." And he used that career and technical student organization to show that student what they could accomplish. The masonry that he was learning in that class, it was important. It was helpful. It was a skill that he could use later in life and build things that he wanted out of that. But what he gained from that was a new outlook and a new perspective on life that would guide him into a career where he wanted to share that message with every person that he could about the value of CTE and about the importance of these individuals sitting up here who every day that classroom full of students comes in, and those students know that these people sitting in these chairs right here see something special in them. There is nothing more valuable and more important in education, and I'm going to try not to tear up right now, than that advisor, that instructor who believes in you, like nobody else in this world. And so today that young man is standing up here as the executive director of the National Technical Honor Society because George Braxton believed in him. And teachers, I know some days they can be hard. I know when you work with teenagers or middle schoolers, I've got a 3-year-old and going on, 13 pretty quick. There's some challenging days working in education, right? But every day you show up, one more student knows that you believe in them. And I want you to look around the auditorium right now. And anytime you have a challenging day, I want you to know each and every person in here believes in you. And we celebrate you today the same way that you celebrate those students each and every day. The same way you lose your mind, you hug them, you cheer for them every time they get up on that stage, every time they learn a new skill, every time they build a new competency in your classroom. We celebrate and we cheer for them. But as much as we celebrate and cheer for them, we need to celebrate and cheer for you. The energy and excitement that exists here this week, it's palpable. The connections that you've built with one another are the types of relationships that can help us go back into our communities and build a strong foundation and a strong fabric around CTE so that every parent in our school systems knows the value of a student showing up in your class, knows the value of learning a skill, and knows that career and technical education is going to pave the way for their future and help them get a foundation to build a life and a career upon. So folks that are in the audience tonight, I want to thank you for your support of the individuals that are sitting up here tonight. CTE Teacher of the Year finalists, I want to thank you. Thank you for believing in students. You're here because you do believe in them. And no matter what happens, no matter where you go, I want you to know that we believe in you, and this community is here to support you every single step of the way. Thank you for being a George Braxton for every student that walks into that room. Thank you for making a difference. Thank you for changing lives. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much.
Please welcome back to the stage to introduce our final group of CTE Teacher of the Year finalists, Dr. Wendy Mason.
Thank you, Peyton. Such a friend of CTE. And it is my pleasure to introduce our third and final group of finalists, beginning with Heather McNeely from Transylvania County, who teaches agricultural education at Rosman High School. Joe Machoto from Alamance County, who teaches agricultural education at Western Alamance High School. Kim Osborne from Guilford County, who teaches trade and industrial education at Weaver Academy. Chad Rory from Charlotte, Mecklenburg, who teaches trade and industrial education at Providence High School. Holly Schratweiser from Camden County, who teaches agricultural education at Camden County High School. Casey Spear from Edenton, Chowan, who teaches health sciences education at John A. Holmes High School. One of our CTE finalists was unable to be with us this week. I want to tell you a little bit about him, and then I would invite you to join me in a round of applause to recognize his achievement. And that's John Spillman from Davidson County, who teaches computer science, IT, and technology education at Oak Grove High School. And our last finalist is Kim Williams from right here in Jackson County, who teaches family and consumer sciences education at Smoky Mountain High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nccat Development Foundation Board of Directors President, Richard Schwartz.
Good evening. The Nccat 2023 North Carolina Career and Technical Education Teacher of the Year runner-up will receive $2,000 cash, a 3-year membership to Nccat Cte, and $300 for their students from the National Technical Honor Society. Instruction in this teacher's classroom is engaging and hands-on, so students can apply academic and employability skills through authentic and collaborative scenarios. This teacher serves in multiple leadership roles, from teacher mentor and department chair to school improvement team chair. This teacher shares and leads monthly district PLC meetings. This teacher opens the world to their students with a passion for support and guidance. And this teacher is well connected and well respected in the community and described as an outstanding teacher leader who displays a never-ending energy for students and the profession. A parent noted that this teacher helped her son create and hold a fishing camp in the community to teach kids the fundamentals of fishing, a result of constant encouragement and extraordinary efforts. The parent shared that her son is now a confident speaker and presenter, winning multiple awards at competitions and serving in multiple leadership capacities. A student shared that he greatly appreciates Ms. Creech's hard work and dedication to the school and the work she puts into bettering everyone. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Barnan Creech from Wake County Schools as the runner-up for the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching 2023 Nccat Teacher of the Year.
Please welcome Director Regional Impact, My Future NC, Jeff McDarris.
The 2023 Nccat Career and Technical Education Teacher of the Year will receive $5,000 cash, a 3-year membership to Nccat. Ncate will serve as the North Carolina representative for the National ACTE competition. Will have all expenses for the convention and competition covered, $250 for classroom use, and will receive $1,000 for their students from the National Technical Honor Society. The winner of the 2023 Nccat CTE Teacher of the Year is described as a picture-perfect teacher leader, often serving as a mentor to other CTE teachers, who truly understands high-quality career technical education programming. This person knows how to build a chapter and grow it from low numbers of student participants to one of the largest in the state. This teacher is popular with students, parents, and colleagues, and gives completely and selflessly to the school and community. This teacher has strong academic expectations and shows their students every day that they can succeed. This teacher established a virtual North Carolina FBLA state conference, which led to a national model for continuing FBLA conferences during the pandemic. He is described as a dedicated educator, FBLA advisor, and FBLA executive board member. This teacher believes that leaders come in all forms, noting each of his students, no matter where they interact, will leave with the skills to be a leader and apply them in every facet of their life. They have gained the confidence that they too can be effective leaders. A former student said this teacher taught her countless things about how to succeed in the business and real world. She noted, without his continuous support, motivation, and drive to make an impact on every student's life, I truly do not know where hundreds of students would be. This student concluded by sharing, as an education major, I am constantly thinking about what I want to be like as a teacher. I am always thinking about what I will be like standing in front of my classroom, teaching and trying to make an impact on my students' lives. Truthfully, if I can be even half the educator Mr. Garner is, I can make an impact like no other. Please join me in honoring the much-deserving winner of the Nccat 2023 North Carolina Career and Technical Education Teacher of the Year, Kurt Garner from Pitt County Schools.
A little bit at a loss of words, but thank you to everybody here, to Nccat and Nccat for putting this on. You know, when I hear back the words of that student, it resonates with me because it resonated with each of the other 23 of you all. Because that's our goal. Every day is to walk into the classroom to be that one person that student needs. each and every day. It's not easy. We know that, but I usually, I'm a soccer coach, and I usually tell my players when they're frustrated with the refs, I said, there's 3 things in life you're never going to change: death, taxes, and a referee's mind. And there's one other thing that you can't change, and that is each one of our passion for our students. And so I think going forward, we've learned a lot this week, but for the directors in the building, for the NCDPI staff in the building, for the policymakers that are here, we're all putting you on notice. We will be emailing you and calling you to put into effect all the different things that we've learned and shared with each other to advocate first and foremost for our students in our CTE programs. So thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining us this evening to celebrate the Nccat CTE finalists. Congratulations to our winner, our runner-up, and all of the finalists. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you've heard some recurring themes. One of the work that's most important in our state that's going on is to try to have 2 million credentialed employees in the state of North Carolina by 2030. Career technical education is our critical partner in that. And the other thing that you heard was about not only the impact on the students, but the fact that additional teachers are coming out of your ranks because of what you are teaching them. I would like to invite all of our finalists back to the stage for pictures. Everyone, please remain in your seats as we complete this task, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening and good night. Thank you.